There are two things that you must do in order to increase a woman's attraction, whether you want to go on dates, for a long-term relationship, or for hookups. So my channel, though, The Attractive Introvert, is mostly geared towards long-term relationships. But these two things that you must do to increase your attraction can apply to both situations. So let's get right into it. So there are two things that you must do in order to increase your attraction and hopefully go on date number, start at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's get right into it and talk about those two things and give some examples so that you can start applying these right away. And by the way, I'm Christian from The Attractive Introvert. I'm an introvert myself. And for the longest time, I didn't know how to date or how to what to do on dates or what to talk about. So now over the years, I've learned a lot of these things and want to help you guys out based on my success. So that's where I come from. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that we must do in order to increase a woman's attraction is we want to be bold. Okay, and the second thing we must do is we have to be confident. Okay, so we want to be both bold and confident. And so when we talk about, let me say this. In order to be bold and confident, you have to have one thing, and this is very important. It is the secret, and it's what a lot of guys don't have, okay? And it is courage. You have to have courage to be bold and confident. So when we talk about courage, dictionary.com defines courage as the mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. So in dating, what that basically means is you have to take risks of her not liking you for what your opinions are, the risk of her rejecting you and not liking you as a relationship partner or a hookup partner, whatever you're going for. So you have to take those risks, okay? So the thing is this, most guys are, they're too passive. They wait for the girl to make the moves. And girls don't want to make the moves. They want you as the masculine role to make the moves. So the guys get friend zoned because the girl, for the most part, is not going to start to make the moves. So they rely on you to start and to lead the way. So you don't want to be passive, okay? So what you want to do is what I call stir her emotions. So girls are stimulated when there is kind of this roller coaster of emotions. And we're talking about dates here, right? About dates or texting, that sort of thing. When you're talking to a girl, they don't like the flat, okay? They like the roller coaster. So most guys kind of stick with kind of like, if we're talking about an analogy with medical terms, most guys stay kind of flatline like that. So they stay like in interview mode during the dates, just asking questions back and forth and just being serious, talking about logical things and facts. But what you want to do instead, you want to do this. So you want to have, yes, those lows, those times of getting to know each other via question and answers, but you want to have the highs too, which are things like being playful, being spontaneous, teasing her, flirting. So you want to have both things, not just the flat line, which most guys tend to stay in. So here's the thing. And let's talk about bad boys just for a second. So the reason girls like bad boys is because they give her this roller coaster of emotions, okay? They do what they want, they say what they want, and they're not afraid of her. But at the same time, the bad boys are also assholes. They treat girls like shit. And that's what you don't want to do. You do want to give her those roller coaster of emotions that bad boys give them without being an asshole. And that's where you have to be bold like the bad boys, and you have to be confident just like the bad boys, okay? But not be the asshole, okay? So here's the thing. Another thing. So if you have issues with like self-worth or self-esteem, things like that, emotional issues where you think you might need to see a therapist, yeah, you might have issues with trying these things that we're just going to talk about. If you think something like, oh, I'm worthless, nobody likes me, what is this going to do? Well, then you might have self-worth or self-esteem issues, and you may have to see a therapist or a professional. But for those of us that are emotionally stable and can actually try these things out, then go ahead and try them. Otherwise, you may have to, again, get some help, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult to try these things. You may not even want to try these things, but these things work. That's the bottom line. So let's start with that. So we want to build the courage to do these 5 things, okay? So number 1, you want to get out of your comfort zone and take risks. What does that look like? Well, you want to ask for her number. You don't want to wait for her to ask for your number, because she's probably never going to do it. So you want to ask for her number. Okay. You also don't want to change your opinions to win her approval. So in other words, don't seek her approval. Don't change your opinions about something just to agree with her, even though you internally disagree. So this could be about anything on dates, right? She may ask you, or maybe by texting, she may ask you, do you like, dancing? Because I love dancing. If she says something like that, and you don't like dancing, or you hate it, or you don't know how to do it, or whatever, don't just go with what she's saying. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with dancing. Yeah, no, if you don't like it, then it's okay to say you don't like it. So in other words, don't change your opinion just to seek her approval. Okay, so be okay with disagreement. So you don't want to argue, but you do want to state that that you do like something or you don't like something, being respectful about it. So being okay with that. Also, you don't want to hide your interests. So a lot of guys are afraid of showing that he's interested in the girl, saying, "Oh my gosh, no, I can't show her. I can't tell her that I'm interested. I can't let her know that I can't let her know that I'm interested." But that's why you're there. That's why you're talking to her. That's why you're going out on dates, because you are interested. And by the way, when a guy asks for a girl's number or asks them to go hang out, she probably already knows that you're interested in her, because a guy usually does not do these things just to be friends or just for the hell of it. So don't hide your interest. And in fact, if she questions you about it, admit it. Say, heck yeah, I like you. Heck yeah, you're cute. Yeah. So just admit it and have fun with it. Okay. And also be okay with tension. And this kind of can go along with disagreement. So if there's kind of a minor disagreement, about, it doesn't even have to be anything big, like what kind of music you like. She may like EDM and you don't. There might be a little bit of tension there, and that's okay. You're different people with different opinions, different likes, and you still can date. You still can like each other, okay? So be okay with that, and don't always change your opinions to match hers just to get her to like you, okay? Number 2, so that was get out of your comfort zone and take risks. So in this case, taking risks of rejection, of her not liking you. Be okay with that. Number 2, you want to take the lead. So, of course, you want to be the first one to make different kinds of moves. We already talked about asking for her number. So you want to be the first one to ask for her number. You want to be the one to ask her out. You don't want to wait for her to do that. She may never come around to do that because she wants to be in the feminine role, and you should be in the masculine role, taking the lead. Okay, so ask her out. You want to be the first one to go for a kiss. And again, this goes back to having courage and being okay with her rejecting you, and being cool about it. You want to be the first one to playfully touch her, whether that's giving her a high five or playfully pushing her when she teases you, or anything safe like that. Be the first one to touch her in a respectful way. You don't want to wait for her to do it. You want to be the first one to tease as well, because women typically will follow your lead. If you start teasing them, they'll start teasing you back. If you start doing something, then they'll start doing it back. Typically, they will not initiate, right? So you want to initiate and be the first one to make these kinds of moves, okay? So you also want to be decisive. So you want to be able to, when you plan dates, when you ask her out, decide on something, on what to do. Decide on a time that you're available, a day that you're available, and an activity that you want to do, and ask her out to join you to that activity. So don't leave things to her. Don't ask her, what do you want to do? Or what do you like? Instead, you want to be able to, again, take the lead and make the plans. And this is not about being controlling, right? This is you about being a leader. So if she doesn't like something about your plan, she'll let you know, and you can adjust from there, right? It doesn't mean you have to stick to the plan. It means that you suggest, ask her, and then see if she's okay with it. So that's kind of how that works. Okay, so also, like I was saying, you want to plan and you want to lead all the dates. Okay, so if something goes wrong during a date, you want to be prepared. So for example, if the place is unexpectedly closed, like a restaurant, it's closed for whatever reason, then you want to have a backup plan. You want to say, you know what, I have another idea. And then just take the lead and go for it. Don't ask her, what should we do now? What do you want to do now? You don't want to be in that place. You want to have a plan, a backup plan, that is. And also, try to be spontaneous whenever possible and be in the moment. So, of course, this is going to depend on the situation and the setting and that sorts of things, and maybe your personality also to an extent. But whenever possible, you can do something that I like to do. For example, one of my first two go-to dates is a walk in the park with smoothies. So one of the spontaneous things that I like to do is, if we're walking in the park and I see that there's a playground, suddenly I can say, hey, you know what? Let's go to the playground. And I grab her hand or her arm while I lock arms with her, and I say, and I just take her there. Right? So just kind of a spontaneous thing that breaks that pattern of just talking back and forth. It's just kind of, again, goes back to spiking her emotions and making things, changing things suddenly, right? So that's fun. So being spontaneous and in the moment whenever possible. Okay, so the next one, number 3. So that was taking the lead. Number 3 is having no attachment to outcome. Meaning going on dates without trying to force her to like you, or having the expectation that she will approve or like you. Being okay with her rejecting you. Being okay with her saying, you know what, you're not the type of guy for me. Or being okay with whatever outcome. So don't go in to dates thinking that you want to win her over, okay? Or that you want to make her your girlfriend or your wife. Just going out there with having the mentality of what girls have. And usually a girl's mentality is, let's go out on a date and see what happens. I don't know this guy, but I'm going to get to know him. He might be for me, he might not be. That's the attitude you want to have. You don't want to try to win her over because you don't know her yet. Okay, so that's why you go on dates and see if she's a good fit for you. And if she's not a good fit for you, that's okay. We just move on and date someone else. Okay. Also, you don't be so sold on her so quickly. And that kind of goes with what I was just talking about. So get to know her and have standards beyond her looks. So that was having no attachment to outcome on dates. And 1, 2, 3, that's, I'm looking at my notes. 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is you want to push her buttons. What does that mean? Well, that means basically being playful, teasing her, flirting with her, bantering back and forth. So you want to be able to do those kinds of things to make things fun and break from that question and answer interview mode, okay? So a lot of guys think, oh, no, I can't tease her. That's disrespectful. Oh, no, I can't do that. I'm better than that. I grew up with doing the right things and treating girls with respect. But here's the thing. You tease your guy friends, right? When you go out with your coworkers or your friends, you tease them, you're playful, you go back and forth. There's nothing disrespectful about that, okay? You can be respectful, but you could also tease girls, flirt with them, indicate that you're interested, okay? So you don't want to play it safe in that respect. You don't want to be flat. You want to stir her emotions and give her those emotional highs, okay? And that's one way to do it, is by being playful, teasing, bantering, back and forth, that sort of thing, okay? So the last one is you want to start off by being your PG-13 self. A lot of guys start at rated G or rated PG, and they like to play things safe and, for example, not cuss. Try to be super respectful and that sort of thing. And yes, again, you want to be respectful, right? You don't want to, talk about her body or mention that she has a nice booty or mention about her boobs or touch her inappropriately. Yeah, you don't want to do those because that's disrespectful, right? But again, you want to be yourself in terms of, if you're the normal person to cuss or to act in a certain way, then you don't want to hold back. You want to be yourself in that respect, but at the same time being respectful towards her, okay? So that is, so start at the, like I said, at the PG-13 level, and as dates progress, you want to move that slowly to the rated R level, and then see how she responds, and then adjust from there based on how she responds. If it's a negative response or a neutral response, then you want to bring it back to PG type of an area, or PG-13 of an area, right? So again, typically the more, again, girls will follow your lead if they're okay with where you're going. So if you slowly start going to rated R, then she will follow your lead and reciprocate. So those are the 5 things on how to be bold and confident. But the key here, again, is you have to have courage, okay? You have to be okay with taking the risks of her not approving of you or not liking you or anything like that, okay? So don't be afraid of that. And again, the mindset is to, if she rejects me, so what? A lot of guys think it's the end of the world when a girl rejects them, but it's really not. What really happens is she's saying, you're not a fit for me. And that's okay, because you don't want to be with the wrong girl. You want to be with the girl that is a good fit for you, okay? So anyway, I'll end it with that. I hope this is helpful. And again, if you want to see more videos and you want to motivate me to do more, then go ahead and hit that like and subscribe, and check out my other videos on flirting if you're not sure how to do that, because it's very important. Okay, until then, you guys have a great day.